Hey, today we're working on a John Deere 328. What the problem is the alternator has gone bad. It's not charging the battery anymore. I've charged the battery and it comes on, says that it's got 12.6 volts or 8 volts or whatever. But as soon as I start it up, the battery light comes on telling me the alternator is not charging. So it's really not a battery problem, it's an alternator problem. So I've got a new alternator. We're going to take this one off. The way we're going to go about this is, this has a serpentine belt. We're going to put a socket wrench in here. It's a 3/8. You're going to put it in there and you're going to push it that way. That's going to loosen this serpentine belt. Then we're going to take these two bolts off, this one and this one here. But before we do that, obviously, we're going to disconnect the 12-volt battery because this one right here has 12 volts on it. If you were to put a voltmeter on there, there'd have 12 volts from there to ground. And you don't want that touching the ground, otherwise you'll burn up some wires or something while you have the battery hooked up. So disconnect the battery and then go at it. And we're going to get the new one on here and see if it fixes our problem. Another thing about this alternator is I know it's at least 6 years old. I've had this machine 6 years, and this right here is a rheostat. It actually is what creates the voltage. Well, it changes it to DC current and then charges the system. So if there's a charging problem, it's got to be in the alternator. You can't buy this. I haven't seen this separately anyplace, so I don't know if I can buy it separately. I probably have it rebuilt, but I found one for 120 bucks on Amazon, so that's what I'm going to go with. Also, I'm charging the 12-volt battery right now, which is located over on the other side. I'm charging it because I don't want the new alternator to immediately have to charge it up from, something under charge. But like I said, I had 12.6 volts on it when I started it today, and it wasn't charging, so I decided I had to get a new alternator. Actually, that was about a week ago, and it took me a week to get it in the mail. So we're going to push this up. It's going to loosen the belt. And then we're going to pull the belt off. But it's going to take two hands, so we'll see if we can get this on video without having to have my camera person here. So I'm going to have to pull up here. Slip this belt off. There we go. Now I can get to loosening the bolts. Alright, in order to get this off, it's got some sliding bushings or something right in here, and they were tight. So I had to put a screwdriver between the housing here and pry it up to get it loosened up, to get the alternator to come off. Now I'm going to disconnect these wires. This one right here is going to be fun because the head's kind of missing on it. The new one I got busted in shipping, so we're going to find out if that created a problem with all this electronics back here. Hopefully it'll work when we put it on. If not, then I get to call Amazon and get another one. All right, we're taking off the negative here, and we're going to clean these with the wire brush. Make sure we don't have any poor connection here for the new one. The new one comes with a new bolt. We're going to take the positive off. Obviously, you want to compare the old with the new. Make sure that it's the same. So there's this dual plug-in. Single wire goes here. Single wire. Double wire. Positive goes here. And the negative goes there. That's really odd. They gave me that and no nut. How about that? I'll have to use the bolt from the other one. I'm going to wire brush all these wires off because you don't want them to be dirty. And that negative one right there. Alright, make sure you put your belt back on here correctly. Belt routing. Hopefully you got an idea what it was before you got started. I'll take a picture of it when I'm done here. It goes all the way from the top right pulley to the alternator and weaves around the water pump. So if you got anything like this, you got the right idea. So it goes clear over to that other pulley. And when you're in here, I mean, I just replaced these pulleys. And the belt was, I replaced the belt too. I just got one at AutoZone that matched the length of the original. But you got to make sure it's a 6. It's a 6 groove belt. And the alternator's on. We're going to start it up. See if it lights up. See if it comes on and the battery light goes off. Glow plugs, wait for that to go off. Because the hydraulic fluid is below 60 degrees. As soon as it hits 60 degrees, that goes off. Then you want to rev it a little bit. Push your accelerator up a little bit. Now the glow plugs have gone off. And let's see what the alternator does. Yeah! Notice this light isn't on anymore. There's a battery light over here that tells you your alternator's not working.